Africa? What? No, crazy, that doesn't happen here. Yes, it does.
Despite the lovely celebratory send-off, the movie magic didn't last long before the reality of the situation set in.
In true real style, I've actually just had to come back and now order an Uber to get out of town, but it was nice having a little ceremonial getaway. There goes my ride. Dropped a couple of kilometers outside of town just because every single person told me that that first section is very, very sketchy, not worth riding, especially alone. One of the guys at the hostel had his bike stolen at gunpoint yesterday, so it's just not fucking worth it. We get to see the beautiful Cape Town in the background as we head north. Table Mountain, Lion's Head, Signal Hill, Djibouti somewhere over there. And now at 10:03 on the 12th of September, we have officially started. That's it. No more planning, just cycling. So much to see.
The first few hours went off without a hitch as I wound my way up through the coastal regions of Cape Town.
Really the only reason I'm riding is so I can just eat like an absolute pig for the next 4 months and still probably lose weight somehow. This is what we're dealing with out here, ladies and gentlemen. This is a real deal. That's a nice big fucking snake. And of course you're not going to be able to see it. But over there are some zebras next to some camels living harmoniously. What a beautiful allegory for life.
So as I pulled into Fontaine after a big day of eating headwinds for 80 kilometres, it felt good knowing that I was going to sleep after finally starting the journey.
What makes me happy is my family and being in nature. Yeah.
Thanks guys, see ya. Wow, it's amazing the difference in feeling that you have from minute to minute. Like, I'm listening to Fix You by Coldplay. There's no headwind for the first time in a day and a half, and I'm just rolling downhill in the aero bars. Man, it feels good. Big thanks to Marietta for packing me a little lunch. Let's get into it. Oh yes. Got some little beef burgers from Brekkie. And you're gonna see me a lot at petrol stations. It's all that's out here at the moment.
I spent the rest of the day cycling through the rare West Coast wild blooming flowers as I made my way to the Dryhook Lodge, and let's just say that I really settled in once I got there.
Yeah, cycling Africa isn't so bad.
There was only so much that I could abuse the free amenities before I was banished to the campsite.
What? We got warm showers over there. Excuse my head. Little camp area here. Some place for a fire pit there. They've even put some wood. There's a little bit of insight into the level of preparation that you need to put in to come and do something like this. Today was the first day I've actually ridden more than 100 kilometers on that bike, fully loaded. So, you know, I'm supposed to be doing that every day. And this is actually only the second day ever that I've put the tent up and ridden on the bike with it. So, as you can see from the fact that I've put the poles in backwards. So, you know, not everyone can just come out here and do it. Oh, Western Cape is no joke. Note to self, put the rain fly on even if it's not raining.
After spending an inordinate amount of time lamenting my mistakes, I continued onto the road and scared a few people.
Morning. Righto, so it's choose your own adventure time. Except it's my adventure, and by the time you see this, I've definitely already chosen, so it's Probably actually not that much fun for you guys. Anyway, there is a dirt road here, which is 5 kilometers shorter and flat. And then there's a tar road here, which is 5 kilometers longer and has a big hill.
So after the natural choice of the dirt road, I arrived in the picturesque town of Elands Bay. To top it off, I was even greeted by a little brass ensemble. So after savouring the tunes and a quick pop to the shops,
Don't worry, the method in Africa is purple.
it was time to get back to the train line.
Shit, that's a train. Well, there's your problem. So a lot of these dirt roads are private. And there was a guy at that gate. He wasn't going to let me through. He had a boom gate across, and then these 2 cars behind, surfboards, they wanted to come through to look at the waves, and they paid him off and said, oh, this guy's with us. And so he's let me through. Shaved off about 20 Ks. Oh, I know how boring it can get when it's just me talking to the camera, but there's not really many people out here to chat to, but I have found some locals. I might ask them some questions. Oh, mate, how do you enjoy living out here?
Recommendation from Raimundo, I headed down to this coastal town for a beer and a nice little place to sleep.
Good morning. Crazily enough, on day 5, this is as close as I've come to cooking for myself. And you're thinking, oh yeah, that looks like you cook yourself well. I mean, I just used the kettle, boiled some water.
Staying dry and warm is the name of the game today. Unexpected rain, but that's alright because we still have a tailwind. Oh, the sheer joy of seeing a menu like this after not seeing much food for the last few days. Eggs and bacon.
I was given my first on-the-road donation for charity, and it was back to eating more dirt.
Oh, this hill just goes on forever.
And out of nowhere, the culmination of the climbing, the scenery, and the music eventually just overwhelmed me.
Oh, it really peels back right down to the bone, huh? Makes you feel, huh? When was the last time I felt like this? Ah, that's what 123 kilometer hill does to someone. Oh.
Well, after that emotional overload, it was time to blow off some steam, but the atmosphere left a little to be desired.
With some Aussies that came through, no.
All Australian.
Yeah.
After some frightful discussions, I had a delicious dinner and took my leave for the night.
So any good outdoorsman always tests his gear before coming on a trip. So I guess that's why this is the first time that I'll be making anything with the stove. Now we're cooking with gas spirits. So got a bit of a shorter day today. No less hills, but only going to Springbok. It's the last big town for a few weeks till Windhoek. So I had time to make some breakfasts. Probably gonna read a book. And then, yeah, get out when the sun's more up.
So where are you coming from?
I'm just sitting here at another petrol station, looking like a bit of a bum. This guy's come out and said, "Beer travels." He's got me a nice little muffin. He warmed it up.
As I floated down this hill, looking out into the blue sky, I came across my very first fellow two-wheeler.
How we doing?
How are you, sir?
Good, and yourself?
Good. Where are you from?
From Australia.
Oh, great.
I just...
From Ghana?
Nice, man.
Yeah, and South Africa is my country number 18. Yeah.
Well, we'll probably run into each other. I'm going up to Djibouti.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. You're in trouble.
Yeah. So where have you enjoyed most so far?
Namibia.
Yeah?
Absolutely lovely. I had some awful experiences in Guinea-Bissau. No,
Just getting to chat and connect with a fellow traveller after days of isolation was something really beautiful.
Xavier,
Yeah.
what makes you happy?
Motorcycling makes me really happy. Our work is beautiful. Go out there and see as much as you can. The memories are going to stay with you. Any other thing is fleeting. Great world we live in. Go out there and explore and discover the beauty that we have, the beauties that we have around.
Running off the high of meeting my first fellow overlander, I continued on with the day after saying goodbye to Xavier and made my way to Springbok.
Well, that was by far and away the coldest night so far. Had all my layers on, a sleeping bag up over my head, just my mouth to breathe and my lips were cold, but it should be one of the coldest nights of the whole trip. I'm sure in Uganda I'll be looking back at this thinking how nice it was.
I have not had the luxury of taking off my gloves yet this morning because it's still 6 degrees and foggy. Africa? What? No, crazy, that doesn't happen here. Yes, it does.
I realised the less than
yeah.
happy start to the day was due to the lack of coffee, so when I pulled up at this store, despite not actually selling any coffee, Jason went into the back and got his little kettle and made a cup for me.
Jason, what makes you happy?
Can't say really, just everyday life and what. Maybe, don't know, nothing makes us happy, but every day we go by. So there's nothing certain that makes me.
And if you had a message to the world, what would it be?
Love and peace. Yeah.
As the last few kilometres of South Africa rolled by, I looked back on my time here and thought about what Xavier had said.
Go out there and explore and discover the beauty that we have, the beauties that we have around.
Our sides of full-on desert.
Pushing down into the canyon, crossing that border,
Okay.
I knew that
All good?
despite everything I'd been
Thanks.
through in the last week, there was still so much more to come.
Order number 1 of the journey. Across the bridge. We're crossing to Namibia, the desert. Shit, just got back.